What's up, everyone? Tuk-Tuk, don't give a fuck. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Bangkok, Thailand. This evening we've come to pretty much a collection of street food markets. And I'm going to be doing some street photography and I'm going to throw on some shots, see what we can find, and hopefully you'll enjoy the ride with us. We're on a bit of a tuk-tuk tour. It's going to be awesome. So we're actually going to be documenting this evening as far as the food and the tasting goes on our blog, jellyjourneys.com. But this video is going to be all in aid of the street photography. So I'm going to be taking the shots and I'll be sharing those with you. We are also with our friend who we met at T-Bex in the Philippines, Arissa. And if you haven't already, then go and check out her YouTube channel. We met up with her just a few minutes ago and had a couple of beers before we came on this tour. So just having a quick meet up with Arissa. And you guys know Ellie.
Hi.
What's up, everyone? So Arissa's also got a YouTube channel and she's currently traveling around Thailand and many other places. And it's pretty awesome. So go and show some love. So it's coming up to 6 p.m. and of course that's prime dinner time, but it's also prime lighting time. The sun is pretty much set behind the skyline and that's good lighting for photos, and all the lights around the markets coming on. Should be good subject wise. I think this is going to be a fairly relaxed vlog, and mainly I just want to share some photos whilst we're out getting shots. So I'm back on my 70 and I've got my 24-70, it's the 2.8L, which should be good for low light when it gets darker later. So obviously as the light's fading, one of the hardest things to do with photography is balance your exposure, but maintain the quality, and I'm talking about noise here. So with my ISO, I'm generally setting it fairly high. Now some of you may wince at this. I'm using 3200, sometimes even 6400 ISO, but my argument for that is, what would you rather have? A balanced exposed shot or a dark shot that doesn't have any noise? Essentially, you want the best exposure. If it comes with noise, it comes with noise. There's no getting away from that. That is part of travel photography, I'm afraid. That being said, cameras these days are doing very well at high ISOs. So you may have seen in a previous video I mentioned about using auto ISO. I'm not doing that for today because I've actually got general good control over my conditions, but I'm using a fixed ISO of around 3200 or 6400. Now I'm also generally shooting fairly wide open. In fact, I'm shooting completely wide open at 2.8 most of the time, occasionally dropping to 3.2, sometimes f4 on the aperture. I generally like to do that when I'm shooting portraits because you get that nice depth of field when you've got your subject on a person, the nice bokeh as a background, but sometimes it's also just necessary, especially as it gets dark, because you just need that bright light coming in through the lens. So alongside my ISO settings, I'm shooting in aperture priority, and that's what's given me the consistent exposure throughout. So my shutter speed is generally ranging from around, I think, 120th of a second, 160th of a second. So you do have to be fast, but you also have to be steady because you don't want any of that motion blur, especially when it's a street food environment where you've got people moving all over the place. Yeah, the other thing is I am very much missing that Fujifilm X-T2. Unfortunately, that had to go back to Fujifilm Australia and Fujifilm New Zealand. The one that broke went to Australia, the one that stayed alive went to New Zealand. And yeah, that is a perfect camera for this type of environment. The 70s, kind of a little bit too big. Ooh, I'm falling off. The 70s kind of a little bit too big for this type of shooting. But still, you use what you got and you roll with it. It's pretty bumpy. Well, now it's not bumpy. Within half an hour, it's gone pretty much dark now. So I'm really having to slow down the shutter speed and raise the ISO if I want to get good exposed shots. Otherwise, I need to play with the shadows and really make use of those areas that are just lit up, just to kind of give it that little bit of visual interest, but not introduce too much noise. So it's quite a challenge, as well as moving really fast around these streets. I'm already behind the group, but I think I'm getting a couple of good shots at least.
My hands are so sticky.
Their tuk-tuk says 4-wheel drive, but it's only got 3 wheels. Alright, so we now come to a restaurant environment, and generally the sort of style of photos I'm trying to get are focusing in on some of the finer details of all of the busyness that's going on. So there's so many people about, but I'm just spotting 1 or 2 people who are doing something very delicate and very particular and trying to get shots of that, and just framing it with the people around and maybe blurring that. I'm sort of getting some success with it, and it's coming out alright, but as you guys probably know from my channel, I'm generally not confident in taking photos of people, so this is something of a skill that I'm really trying to improve on this year, taking pictures of people rather than landscapes and nature and wide urban spaces. I'm trying to focus in on the details. So I'm enjoying the challenge. It's tough, it's very hot, as you can probably tell. I'm sweating all over. It's obviously nighttime, but it's still probably about 30 degrees. So one thing that I really love about shooting with the 7D is the focus speed is so fast. It's so fast. And it's incredibly accurate as well. But not only that, the actual controls of changing your focus point, I'm so comfortable with the Canon setup. That's probably the one thing that really holds me to staying with Canon, is how fast I can change my focus point around the frame incredibly quickly using that little button on the back and the focus wheel. That really makes it quite useful for doing this. That's a very convoluted way of saying there's so much activity going on here that it's really beneficial being able to change the focus points so quickly and easily. Arissa, how are you enjoying the evening?
Awesome.
So good.
Great food.
We now come to, I think, our final stop, which is a bit of a flower market. And again, there's so much illuminated light on this, but it's really showing through on the colours. So I'm looking for some vibrant shots here. So many stops, so little time. Could have easily spent like the whole night there, I reckon.
Yeah.
There was a lot of activity.
Yeah, it's taking the same hotel.
Alright, we made it back to our hotel room. I'm going to end this vlog here because it's gone on way too long, even though it's probably quite a quick vlog. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the photos that I've shared in this video. We've had a pretty fantastic evening. But make sure you go and check out the blog post on jellyjourneys.com. We've got a full write-up of the evening, including more of the food tasting and our complete series of photos between both of us. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this, make sure you give it a massive thumbs up with that like button, and then click subscribe, and you'll catch all of our future travel videos, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Alright, thanks for watching guys, and we'll see you again. Cheers, bye bye.